one of the things I always said, your kids should look at you and they should see you as mum who can do.
Hi, welcome to PWRMUMS podcast. Today we're joined by Rebecca and Kristen, who are the owners of UBX Holland Village. Welcome to the podcast, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you mind quickly introducing yourselves and introducing UBX for us?
My name's Rebecca Sinclair. Been living in Singapore for 15 years now. Have 2 girls, an 8-year-old and a 9, almost 10-year-old. And Kristen and I invested in UBX Holland Village and opened in February of this year, just before the circuit breaker hit.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about later.
Hi, I'm Kristen, Romain, and I've been in Singapore for nearly going on 8 years, and I have 2 children, a 15-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl.
Fab. And did both of you move to Singapore thinking, I'm going to be here for 8 years and 15 years?
No, 2.
2, yeah?
1.
I was 1,
Yes.
8 years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I actually vividly remember meeting people that had been here for 8 years when I first arrived and thinking, I won't be that person.
That'll never be me.
I'll double it.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So you had, your children were born here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, so mine, my son was born in New York and Ella, UK.
Fab, international kids.
Yeah.
And so you just mentioned that you started UBX in Holland Village at the beginning of this year, just before we started Circuit Breaker.
Yes.
So I'm very interested to know how 2 wonderful women and mums started a boxing gym.
As well, going to yoga together.
Yes.
So
Okay,
we were going
as you
to,
do.
Yes, as you do. So we were going to yoga together, and as you can see, Rebecca's very fit, and I feel
so
like
is
I have to.
Kristen.
Yes.
But so we were going to yoga together. I had and still have swish swimming, and I really was interested in a fitness concept, and that's how we started talking about it.
Fab.
So I was at that point where I'd had a couple of years out of work, the corporate world, and was just saying to Kristen, I think I need to go back to work. Sort of time to go back to work, but I don't want to go back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
And was always very passionate about fitness. So when Kristen mentioned the opportunity to do something together, I was very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such, everybody that I speak to with PWRMUMS, well not everybody, but most people, it's such a common thing, is I've had my kids, I've had my time out, I want to work, but I don't want to do what I was doing, and I want to do something that I'm really passionate about. That seems to be a real common theme among mums, especially in Singapore.
Yes. And you have the opportunity, which is great.
Absolutely. And so what is UBX?
So UBX is the fastest growing boxing and strength franchise.
Yeah, could you say that again a bit louder?
Fastest growing boxing and strength franchise. It originated in Queensland, Australia, backed by the investor Danny Green, who's a
boxing guy.
He's the investor, but he's the world champion boxer. And it's a fabulous concept. It's how he trained as a boxer. 12 rounds, and each round is 3 minutes.
Yeah, I did it, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, and it's a really great workout. It's a mix of boxing and functional strength.
Yeah,
exercises change every day, and I think probably the 2 most appealing things about it are the boxing element, and also there's no class times. So that's a real highlight for people in this world where convenience is now so key.
Especially as a mum, if I have to be somewhere at 8 a.m, I'm setting my alarm for 6 a.m. to try and get everything, and you can guarantee I'll be a little bit late. So is that for mums, is how you have no start time? Talk me through that. You have a traffic light system.
That's right.
Yeah.
So every 3 minutes is a new round starts, and so if there is space on the floor, you turn up, then you'll get onto the floor and you'll start your 12 rounds. So every 3 minutes space becomes available because somebody's finishing.
Someone's finishing. So someone could be on round 12 and then they're about to head out, and then you're just going to head in.
Exactly.
Nice.
It's worked for Circuit Breaker. I think that when they had reduced numbers and people couldn't get into other classes that were time-based, we definitely saw a surge in demand because people wanted to just be able to not say, oh, I've missed that class by 5 minutes, so therefore I won't go. No excuse.
No excuses. And mums as well don't need to not have excuses readily available to them, because when you're so tired and you don't really want to exercise, like, oh, I just can't make it in time, whereas you ladies can be like, yes you can. That's really,
No, it's great. That's a great concept.
And if someone hasn't done boxing before, because I like boxing and Muay Thai, but the thing that always put me off was that you go to these gyms and it's a little bit intimidating. There's lots of guys, and it doesn't seem that female friendly. But I guess you guys, your whole mission is to make it kind of fitness for everybody, so men and women.
Absolutely, it's for anyone, any fitness level. So we've got some super fit members, but we've got people that are just starting their fitness journey. So it's and I think, I don't know, you walk in here, the staggered environment helps with that as well. No one's looking at anyone. It's not like you're walking into a class and, you know, everyone's sort of, the first class feels quite intimidated because everyone's on their own station doing their own thing. People feel quite comfortable. And it's the other good thing about it is that it's a mix of class. So you're not in a class, but you have the 6 a.m. crew or the 5 p.m. crew. So you still see the same people.
Drop off after school crew.
And you have that community. Plus it's got a little bit of personal training because you've got trainers always on the floor. So that's sort of what it is. It's sort of a mix of class with personal training.
Yeah, like the best of both worlds. No wonder you're the fastest growing franchise. And so the trainers that are on the ground, are they just PTs? Are they boxing trainers? Who are they?
A bit of a mix. Everyone has to have a certification. But because of the nature of it being the boxing focus, we tend to recruit trainers that have that boxing background as well. So the key things we look at are the certification, boxing experience, and just high energy. You know, high energy and a good vibe.
So the trainers need to be able to do pad work, because one of the KPIs is as you move around the floor, you're going to get pad work off those trainers, which makes it less likely that the trainer's going to be lazy because they're going to have to engage. So you are, you know, unlike other classes you might go into and not really have anything to do. If you're not standing near that trainer, you don't have any real interaction.
Oh, you know when you can get away with it, but there's no getting away with it at UBX.
They're going to be out there holding those pads for you. So
that's
not only
awesome.
does it send their heart rate through the roof, which is great for their physical training, it's also that connection with the trainer.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other really great thing about it is that you're developing a skill. So you're getting fit well, and you'll know that because you've had experience boxing in the past. You're getting fit, but you're also developing that skill, and you don't really think about it.
That's so true. And you go from like throwing your little like this to actually when you can put a bit of power and technique behind it. It makes. I think that's an empowering thing as a woman, because you're like,
I got that. And the difference between, I think neither of us had really, done boxing when we went into the franchise. We'd done it as some fitness, but certainly not any great detail. And just the footwork that you can move on, even the speedball, that feels so awkward at first, and then all of a sudden you can do it, and you feel
pretty
see,
cool.
you're seeing developments in what you're doing in your skill, not just in terms of what exercise you're doing. You're actually feeling that.
And you see it with the members, like they progress really and improve really quickly. Which is great.
That's really nice. And then your instructors as well are going to remember the members, because it's not like you've got hundreds of people coming in here. So I guess they know, okay, this person, you've been coming for a month now, so you need to be working on this, this and this. So that's a little bit, I guess, the personal training aspect of it as well.
Absolutely.
And it is still in the boutique space. So the idea is it is a part of the boutique fitness boom. So it is that you get, and we've got a very close community, so you're getting that. People know who you are.
So your community are mostly, what is the demographic that you guys have?
It'd be mainly, it's a mix. It's a mix of expat and local, which is really nice. I would say the majority, I know the majority are middle-aged women. So females make up the biggest percentage of members. But there's a really nice mix. Really
a lot of couples.
Which
is lovely.
Training to have a little with each other.
Exactly. What they do outside we don't know.
You're just there to equip them with the skills.
And families. So there's a really lovely family of 4 that we've got, that parents come with their 2 daughters. So that's really cool. So
like teenage daughters. Oh, nice.
So that's really nice. It's kind of a bonding.
Yeah, definitely.
Mum and son.
Mum and son. I like that. And what happened when you couldn't open your space during lockdown? What happened?
I mean, actually, it was it's quite amazing how the community connected during that time.
Yeah.
So we straight away started running daily Zoom sessions.
Okay.
We had 2 a day for the whole period that we were shut.
Yeah.
And that just really, brought the community closer together.
Yeah.
And we built some quite strong relationships over Zoom. So yeah, we had regular Zoom sessions every day. So we saw each other every day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said that kept them going.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It must be so hard for some people, depending on what circumstances you're in. Like some of your mums that just need to see someone that's not their kid.
Yes, yes. You spoke about that really passionately.
I don't know why. I just picked that one out of the air. But like single people as well, I guess, that aren't able to go and see their friends, they're at least able to see their friends and kick up a sweat.
We went international, didn't we?
We did.
So we had my sister from New Zealand joined,
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
then we had some of Kristen's husband's work colleagues
From Sydney.
Did you?
joined, and we had a friend of a member in Canada.
You progressed internationally before you planned to.
Exactly. Now we just have to follow that through.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a morning session and an evening session.
Okay.
So catered for
everybody.
everyone,
Yeah.
People who slept in and the night owls.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And
It's fun.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And are you still doing Zooms now?
We're not. We did for probably a good month after we opened, while people were sort of getting used to coming back to the gym. But eventually, I think everyone just preferred being here, so we phased it out. But yeah,
It's good to know that we can switch it back on that quickly, and that was backed up by the franchise. That's where, if we had have opened a gym by ourselves and it wasn't a franchise, but they had an app that people could download. They told us, they kept on going with the structure of the classes, so they were delivering that. They adjusted the classes so that it didn't, you come into the gym and you've got all the weights and all the machines and everything, so they adjusted obviously the workouts so it can be home-based. They came up with a lot of supporting material for home-based, which we couldn't have done on our own.
Very quickly. They were really
They just
proactive.
adapted.
Yes, yeah.
So, because I guess that could have been an absolute disaster. Had you just been 2 women, 2 mums that decided to start a boxing gym, cool, Bex and Kristen
Bex and Kristen's boxing gym.
Yeah. You would have really, you'd have figured it out, but it would have been it would have been all on your own backs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess you can't underestimate the amount of time that goes into that kind of thing, the marketing and just the ads that you keep going, or everything. There's a lot of support. Which was
Well, it's someone's full-time job, I guess, in Australia to keep that happening.
Yes, for over 80 clubs, not just us.
Yeah. Wow. But you are the only ones in Singapore for now,
And in Asia.
And in Asia.
Yes.
A bit louder?
Yes, I mean.
Right, so what would the plans be to open more in Singapore? I know you're still new, but dream big, right?
I think we'd love to, but I guess the priority at the moment is, COVID threw a few curveballs, so we're just trying to, we've come out of that really well. But the idea would be to get this, to a point where we were happy, and then we'd love to. Well, I'd love to. I hope you'd love to.
That could have been a bit awkward.
We actually have it. We negotiated in the beginning that we could open 3 or more clubs, or we also have first right of refusal over other territories. So it is something that we envisaged doing when we opened this, but I think we both agree we're coming to it from a place that we need to get this one working extremely well, get our staff that that we're really comfortable with, iron out any issues that we have, particularly there's not really issues getting things but some access to certain equipment that we have to get from Australia.
Okay.
When you mentioned earlier, did we have any issues, opening? The flooring that we're sitting on right now is a special kind of flooring that's sweat resistant and doesn't. We could only get it from Australia.
I'm just laughing because I still remember when it got delivered.
Oh my goodness!
And the truck driver just dumped it outside, and Kristen was by herself
on a pallet. And it was hundreds of kilos.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and he said, "Sorry, I have a bad leg."
Where'd you go? I was in Australia.
I'm like,
You've got this.
Yes, I
you
know,
can do it.
Except I didn't. So we had that. You know, we had. Yeah, it was really interesting. Like last minute fit out.
Yes.
She's the man who did the fit out. He was so amazing. Really incredible. We're lucky there.
You keep his name and number for next time.
For the next 10.
And Pallet Man, he's off.
Yes, totally not getting it. Yeah.
I guess this will be your flagship, won't it? So I guess this one sort of needs to run itself, and then you can put yourselves off and come to the East Coast.
Yeah. Really? Oh, okay.
Rebecca just agreed.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would do really well in the East Coast.
It would.
I really
it's
do.
a great model, so...
Yeah, I don't see why.
Great workout.
Yeah, definitely. And really cool merch.
Yes. So Rebecca, she's very humble, so she won't talk about this. She's done Ironman events. She's.
Are you sure?
She's.
I
Doesn't
know.
look like I know. Look, she's so lazy. Actually,
Yeah.
not. She will just go out and pop off and do a 10k run. If I did a 10k run, I would be inviting my entire family to watch me from around the world because it would be something momentous.
Yeah.
Whereas Rebecca will just jump in a cab and go and do that. So my point of saying that is that when Rebecca did the workout, and she can evaluate it against many other types of training, and she said it just works. It works. You get a really good workout. You know, and that was the best kind.
And the thing I find is I come from very much a running, cycling sort of background, and I hadn't done a lot of strength work and workouts prior to looking at investing in this. But it complements it. It really helps with your running. We've got a lot of runners that are members. We've got a lot of members that do other types of
kind
exercise.
of endurance.
And this sort of strength work, especially as you're getting older, I think just really helps your performance. So it's a great workout, and it's quick and efficient.
You're kind of you haven't got to think about it, you're out, but you know you've had a good time, you know you've really worked hard. For your overall kind of fitness and well-being, I think it's really good. And for women lifting weights.
Strong as a new skinny.
Definitely.
And there's always a bit of banter. You know, people sort of socialise and have a chat, and it's really nice.
And it is easy. I think it's an easy thing for people to get into because there's no sparring, there's no, but you can end up feeling really good about yourself and what your technique is like. And
you'll get results very quickly. You really do. Your muscle definition happens quickly, and the improvement on the exercises. If you're consistent for 2 weeks, I think you start seeing results.
Definitely.
It's pretty quick.
But coming somewhere like this, that's like, it's clean. Let's be honest. Not all boxing gyms look like this.
Exactly.
It's clean and it smells nice, and there's smiley faces.
The branding's lovely.
The branding's great.
Lighting's good.
Lighting. What are the chances? Natural lighting.
Exactly.
And so with having a chat in the community kind of feel, you guys have a training camp, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's this training camp?
So they run regularly throughout the year, and we're in the middle of halfway through our second one. So our first one was virtual.
Okay.
Our first one as a club was virtual, so it was 4 weeks. This one's our first in-club training camp, and it's 6 weeks. And it's just allows members to set goals. There's training benchmarks.
Okay.
There's a nutritional plan and a meal plan. It's all in an app, a training camp app.
Nice.
And it's just a way to sort of reset and keep focused and set some goals.
And in 4 weeks, you can do quite a lot, hey? Like you can really notice the difference in your fitness and body fat. And do you measure all of that with your machines
We've got
in here?
a new in-body scanner. So we do a pre and post scan. And people are really doing really well. It's a crew of people that are really focused on it.
During our last training camp, the first one that we ran, one of the members lost 11 kilos. 13 kilos in 4 weeks.
And that was from doing the virtual workouts.
Wow. They weren't hitting circuit breaker how I was hitting circuit breaker.
And like most other people hitting circuit breaker, So that's it is impressive. And it's also the difference with a lot of clubs, we use MyZone, so they're heart rate monitors.
Okay.
So we call it the third trainer, where you can see, or the coaches can see what's going on the screen. So if you're sitting there looking looking like you're dying, but you're actually not dying, they will know how to push you.
Oh, you can't hide.
No hiding. No.
It's a tough workout.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Best thing, yeah.
But I suppose the other way, people might be like, you're okay, keep going. You're like, no, the screen says I'm not okay.
I'm going to hospital.
Yeah.
But as part of the training camp, we also have a challenge.
Okay.
A My Zone challenge. So it's based on, so there's a few different phases of the My Zone. I think there's grey, which is very low heart rate, resting, blue, green, yellow, red. So red's your red zone,
dying.
you know, you're
Dying in with the UBX trainer, pad work.
Yeah, exactly.
Pad
work. So the challenge is based on just green, yellow and red.
Yeah.
And everyone in the club's on it, so we will give someone, whoever wins that, a prize as well at the end of the training camp.
Oh, that's good for competitive people then, I'm sure.
Yeah. But the good thing about it is that you are rewarded based on effort.
Yeah.
So you might not necessarily be the fittest person in the club, but you could still win.
Yeah.
Because it's all based on effort.
Hardest working
So often when
person.
you're fitter, your effort's not.
Yeah.
And you don't get as many My Zone points because you've got to push even harder. So it's
like tough luck. You look fit.
Exactly. Rebecca's got to do like a lot.
Yeah. 500 burpees for everyone else's 100.
But the other thing about boxing, and I didn't know when we went into it, but boxing is the oldest sport in the world, and so it is something lovely about. There's so many. You think of all the movies about, and it does seem unattainable, but when you're doing it, it's really interesting, the skill, and then you watch those movies like Rocky's got a whole new meaning for me.
Me as well now. I've never watched
what
Rocky.
he's doing. That's really hard. But it makes it more fun.
Both of you are mums, starting a business in Singapore. What have the challenges been kind of managing your mumminess and also your business? Because I'm guessing you didn't start the business to have less time with them. You wanted to be your own bosses, I guess. And has it worked out that way?
I think the difference that I have found, and you've probably been through this already with Swish, but I found that I want to be doing it because it's our own business and it's something that I feel passionate about. So I kind of feel guilty that I'm not spending time with the kids sometimes, but not as guilty as what I did when I was in a corporate role that I didn't really feel as passionate about.
Yeah.
So I still feel guilty. So it's about just balancing that. And probably the biggest challenge I have is trying to be present when I'm at home, because I can easily just get sidetracked and think I'll just check the emails or I'll just do something. So for me, I need to come up with some tools that I can just go, okay, well, this is time at home, I'm going to leave UBX away, but it's mainly because I want to be doing it.
Yeah. But how nice is that? How good is that? Yeah. If it was your corporate job, you'd be like, oh, damn it, I have to do these emails because,
But I do feel guilty that I'm not engaged.
Yeah.
So it's not so much the time that I'm not there, it's the time that I'm there that I'm not, I don't feel like I'm as present as I should be. Yeah.
So there's something, one of the things I always said, your kids should look at you and they should see you as mum who can do, have your own business and run your own thing. And as a mum, you can still be a person who is doing something.
So you're a role model. You're both role models.
Yeah.
And you're not only in the 50% owner of this, you also run Swish Swimming.
100%.
Which we 100% own. Oh my goodness. If anyone's been to Swish Swimming, it's like a whole complex. Just chilling out in the pool on a noodle.
That's what I do. But this is, that was where it was really, probably when you talked about circuit breaker and how bad that was, I probably would have remained in UBX in a deeper sense for longer. But we were 7 weeks in and circuit breaker happened and we had to renegotiate leases. There was a lot of, so Rebecca was sort of thrown in the deep end because I had to tend to Swish. Yeah. So there was some challenges there, I think, but probably it's where we had to get to anyway. But it was
just
probably
fast tracked, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Right? Because you can, But Kristen's been, like she says, she's not involved in the day-to-day, but she's been an amazing support in terms of just actually setting up a business and everything that goes with it that I wouldn't have, you know, had the knowledge.
All the things that you may have
Yeah.
learned the hard way the first time, I guess you guys haven't had to learn the hard way this time.
Yeah,
How nice
exactly.
is that? Yeah.
Yeah, like even just the thing, you know, down to the contractors when we're fitting out the space and looking for a property. I'm sure we saved so much time because of her background knowledge.
Or maybe, or just foreseeing things that had gone wrong. But we've definitely the hiring of people.
Good team, I think.
Yes.
Like we both worry about different things, which I think is quite complementary.
Yes.
So it works quite well.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that you were friends before is really nice. You've come into business together. You're still friends. You're gonna expand the business in due course.
And it's lots of fun. It's really fun.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for both of you. I've really enjoyed listening to your stories, and you are both power mums of the highest order, I think. Whether you think it or not.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I hope to speak to you again very soon.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.